Hey all you dinosaurs and meteors, I'm Dale Rodman Jr. the third, and this is Slow to Pro, a YouTube series where I go from slow to, it's Mount Panorama. You know, you get what you get. It's a 1 hour mixed class league race with a mandatory pit stop for tires with no refueling, hosted by the fine folks at Zealous Racing League. We've got 18 GT3 cars, 12 GT4 cars, 30 to start. How many will finish? The mountain will make a man out of you. And we started in dead last of the GT3 cars, not due to my usual lack of effort during qualifying, but mainly due to my lack of effort during practice. And I'm using the word practice very loosely here. Basically what happened is I hopped into a hot lap session to refresh myself on Bathurst, and I ended up setting my personal best on the first lap. So I was like, yeah, that's good enough. Back to LFM. And as we hit turn 2 here, the Porsche behind me got really big in my mirror and I got spooked and jumped to the inside, but it turns out I'm just a scaredy cat. And overall, this was probably the most stressful race I've ever been involved in, especially here at the start, where I'm basically just hoping, fingers crossed, that nobody up front is trying to push on the opening lap, because if there's a wreck going over the mountain, it's almost guaranteed to be a multi-car, and there won't be much room to get through, and then I'm gonna have to hope that everybody behind me is smart enough to see that, you know, it's stressful. So in my ape brain, I'm thinking of this sort of like an endurance event. I really just want to bring the car home as clean as possible, and I want to avoid any and all damage from either other cars or these goddamn walls, with the main idea being that I know I don't have the pace to keep up, but if the opposition works a little too hard, bumps a wall here and there, that accumulated damage will slow them down enough for me to gobble them up through these straight sections. None of that is going to work out. We're going to end up jumping way ahead here, so let me fill you in on the business that went down. Basically, my race engineer made a really poor judgment decision, and he said, Dale, you should pit a few laps early and let those guys in front of you fight with the lapped GT4 traffic. You'll come out to a clear track and easily make up that time. And then I came out of the pits with the GT3 leader behind me and behaved like a baby deer in the middle of the highway. So there's the close of the opening lap. And let's go ahead and skip ahead now to my smooth brain moment. So here we are coming up the mountain with 2 GT4 cars slowing us down, and now the leader is directly behind us. At the time, I thought it was P2 behind him, so my stress level was through the roof, and I start thinking, oh, let him by right here. But then my attention goes to the GT4 car off track, and then I just decide it's best to sacrifice myself to avoid disrupting P1's race any further with my idiocy. So we take it to the wall, we hold it against the wall, and Vinny's a little hurt. He took a bump on the chin there, but he's gonna be okay. All right, we're fresh out of the pits with a damaged car. What more could go wrong? So the rest of the race, to be honest, wasn't much of a race. We ended up crossing the line 1 lap down in P13, which is up 5 spots, and the guys in front of us in the championship did pretty well today. So we ended up dropping down to 18th in the championship, with 15th place being disqualified for not showing up. So that's going to leave us effectively 13 points away from P15, and round 10 is our crown jewel event worth double points at Kyalami. So 15th place is definitely within reach if I have a good showing. My apologies for the lack of action from this race. Sometimes that's just how racing is, not my circuit, and I didn't practice, so you get what you get. Perhaps if I practiced, it would be my circuit, but I didn't. So I'll have another race from Low Fuel Motorsport at Woolton Park coming up soon, sometime in the next 3 to 5 days, so look out for that. As always, thanks for watching Slow to Pro. I'm Dale Rodman Jr. the third, and you guys have the kind of day you want to have.